All right, so I'm standing here in front of McDonald Island thinking, what can I do today? And you know what? I thought I'd go for a tour of Fort McMurray, so I thought I'd find someone who's originally from Fort McMurray to take me on a tour. Guess who I come across today? Aaron Lines. Look at this, man. This is awesome. What's going on, buddy?
Just up here playing a show, so yeah, we're going to go tour the town a little bit. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Come on, let's go. So Aaron, this is what Fort McMurray is to me, and it's a big construction zone. Was it like this when you were growing up here?
No, not as much growing up. It was definitely, I was only about 30,000 people when I was growing up, and it was, you know, I was born in '77, so we had some boom times and some not so boom times, but since kind of I've been graduated and been gone, it's expanded. I think it's, I don't know how many people are living here now, but at least 3, 4, or 5 times as many people as when I grew up, so there's lots more.
I met you, actually, you're on the radio right now.
Oh yeah, there's one of the first songs right on.
There you go. I can read your heart. Look at that. That's, oh, what a coincidence that is, man. Well, you are the most played artist on Canadian radio right now. How does that's got to be something else for you.
Yeah, you know what, I remember growing up in Beacon Hill and writing songs and kind of thinking, you know, man, it'd be nice to have one song on the radio one day, and never thought, you know, it'd ever get to a point where it's the most played of the decade kind of thing. So this whole town to me, I've been saying this whole tour, I've been saying this when we've been getting interviewed, but had I not grown up in Fort McMurray, I don't think things would have worked out for me like they have, because I was able to play places like this, and there was different bars and pubs and cafes in town that would have me play, and as like a 16, 17-year-old, and you just don't get those opportunities that much in bigger cities where maybe there's more musicians and stuff like that, and people aren't willing to take a chance on some young kid that's still kind of learning how to do things. And so Stroudy's Pub, which I think might have changed its name now, up in Gregoire, was one of the first places I ever played. There used to be a place called Cafe on King where I think it was every Wednesday. It was like an open mic kind of thing where all of us musicians in town would get together and play some songs. And
Aaron, we're here in front of Composite High School. This is where you went to high school. Yeah. Any flashbacks coming back to you?
You know what? Lots of memories from around here. I remember dances and you know, going in every day getting dropped off to the bus right here, and just had a lot of fun here. You know, I was always a pretty shy kid, but Comp had a lot of, you know, I just had some good friends here, and I remember actually this is where for the first time met my wife. We didn't date back in high school, but we started dating later. But
I've written a lot of songs, and one of them is Lights of My Hometown, and I've always wondered, especially since I've been up here in Fort Mac, is it about Fort McMurray?
It is, yeah. You know that song, well, I wrote a version of that song when I was like maybe 18, and I moved away for university and stuff, and then I was making my second record, and I was actually driving home. You know, the original version was kind of a slower version, and I was never completely happy with it. And so actually one year I was driving home for Christmas, because I used to try to get home as much as I could. You know, this town was such a comfort to me, because being away was, I always enjoyed moving. You know, I enjoyed going places and doing things, but there was something about Fort Mac that always kind of made me feel good, and so I was always trying to get back and visit, and so when I was driving back, you know, I wrote half that song in the car, because you know, you can see the lights in the distance, and I kind of got that feeling that I was home, and all these good things that go with that.
Now, Aaron, your dad was very instrumental in building this dental center right here. Yeah. Was he not?
Yeah, him and a few of his friends actually built the Morrison Center. It was the first building in Fort McMurray with an elevator, so it was a long time ago. Yeah, he sold it a little while back, but yeah, he was always proud of being a part of this community and being, you know, having a small part in building some of the different areas in town. And he had that Corey Ridge Golf Course was one of his, and he's he owns some, you know, the Black Horse Pub.
Oh, really? Now, Aaron, we're standing in front of the first elevator ever in Fort McMurray right now. It's here in the Morrison Center. Let's talk about your dad on a serious note. Your dad was a serious builder in this town, and someone that really helped build the morale of the town, and not just physically, but mentally too.
Well, I think so, yeah. He was, first and foremost, he was a dentist, so he was the first dentist up here, and then yeah, he started. You know, him and his buddies were kind of entrepreneurs, and started, you know, built a few buildings and some different businesses in town. So, you know, he was always. Dad passed away almost 2 years ago, but he was always really proud of Fort Mac and always.
All right, Aaron, you showed me around Fort McMurray. I know a lot more about Fort McMurray than I did an hour and a half ago, that is for sure. And your dad and your whole family are definitely an inspiration to people of Fort Mac, and definitely one of the builders, the founding people of building Fort McMurray as well.
Well, I like to think that, yeah. He was here for a long time and one of the first ones here. So, yeah, and my mom as well just did a lot of stuff. So, great person. So, yeah, nice to get to talk about them.
Well, this is cool, and you're probably all talked out now. You want to be able to sing tonight, so we'll get you in for sound check here at McDonald Island now.
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, let's go.